Martina McBride at 10 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock on this Wednesday morning, the 6th day of March 2024. Good morning, everybody. 25 degrees is the current temperature here in Las Vegas, New Mexico. We are live on 95.7 FM. KLYN-LP is a ministry of Cornerstone Church located at 2207 7th Street. We're going to be telling you at least most of the morning that we are hosting a intercessory prayer event the first Monday. Excuse me. Here I go again. The first Wednesday of every month at 6 o'clock in the evening. And that makes today the first Wednesday of the month. So good morning, Andrea. I wish you could come to our prayer event, but intercessory prayer tonight for city, state, nation, and the world. You're invited. You're invited. Praying people are invited. Now, I have this thought. Some people, when you invite them to events like this, they get a little freaky, right? Well, I'm a new believer. I don't know how to pray. This is where you learn how to pray. I learned how to pray by listening to other people praying, and I picked up a little hint there, then go to the Word, and then, different ways, that you're going, and this would be a good way for you to improve your prayer life. And we're going to have some seasoned praying people today, especially of Pauline and Diane and Eileen and some of these other real good praying people show up tonight. Pauline, hello. Pauline, knock knock. Anyway, good morning. We already have Springer, New Mexico with us here on our Good News radio station. No, she is on YouTube right now. Good hand pink waving morning. Okay, she probably knows that the DJ does not know, couldn't even recognize what just a waving hand. What is that? Well, it's a pink waving hand is what it is. Anyway, glad to be along with you this morning. Let's talk about prayer line right now. We have a number for you, 505-310-9658 is available for you right now for prayer line till 8 o'clock in the morning. And the 24-hour email address for prayer is cliff@klyn@gmail.com. A lonely email account because, we're still waiting for people to... Anyway, as long as you got a place to pray and you learn. Anyway, Flo and Joe with us this morning, just joined in from Santa Fe. Glad to have you along with us. Okay, let's see if I set this thing up. We're going to do something a little different this morning, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so the way we're going to start is that we're going to get into our regular screen, and then we're going to be... Okay, we are in the 28th last chapter of the book of Matthew this morning. And going to cover... You're going to go around a little bit, little extra stuff that I want to show you, and then... and continue. So we might not finish this chapter today, okay? It just might be... one of those, let's see. Okay. All right. So now, after the Sabbath, you know where we're at. Okay. Once we left chapter 25, getting into Jerusalem, all this stuff concerning the passion of the Christ. Okay. Not just a movie. Okay. But that's the title that Mel Gibson used, and it's been titled, a subject or phrase that has been used for centuries, the Passion of the Christ. We are now on the resurrection. I want to cover something, though. I want to cover something. So we're going to get into a little... we're going to get into this maybe a little bit, for some people, some dangerous ground this morning. For others, we're going to get into something that's, hopefully it's revelatory for you. Now, here's another thing that I was thinking. I said, well, it's the middle of Lent. That Easter is, I think, the last weekend of March. I should look that up, but I think the last weekend of March or the first weekend of April. I have a calendar, but it's not going to give us holidays on that. So we're looking at Easter around the 31st of March, or maybe the 7th of April, somewhere around there. Okay, anybody wanna give me some detail on that? It'd be nice. It'd be nice. Now, I was thinking, I say, man, it sure would be nice if we would cover this material. And we'd be right here in the 28th chapter, and the 27th, and the 26th chapter during Holy Week. And then I thought, well, maybe this is the best time to have it because we'll have some new information or new revelation. Because really, what we want more than information is we want revelation, is that we'll be able to have some new revelation when Holy Week from Palm Sunday, he's well, Holy Week, boy. Who are you, man? Where'd you go? I'm a Catholic boy for years, man. I'm a Catholic boy for many years. And you know what? We're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Plus, it's a phrase. It's a title that everybody relates to. We know when we're talking about Holy Week, you know what exactly it is, and it is the last week in March. Because my Española assistant jumped into the information fray for me and said, yes, Sunday, March 31st is the day for Easter. Okay, so it's the last week in March. And I'm not sure what the Nineveh eclipse is, so don't know about that. But I'm sure you're going to send me some type of a Facebook vid on that. Now, let's talk about some times. Let's talk about and then let's get into some little shaky ground over here. They say, "Oh man, you're getting off into some weird stuff over there, dude." That's well, we'll see if it is or not. Now, after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven, came and rolled back the stone from the door, and sat on it. His countenance was like lightning, his clothing as white as snow. The guards shook for fear of him, and he became like dead men. But the angel answered and said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified." Now, you might want to look at your screen today, because one of the things that I do occasionally is to try to give you some hints if you are using eSword, a Bible program that we have on our screen there. Some of the options that are available on eSword, if you really want to be a serious student of the Bible and you want to have a tool to help you in that. Okay, so if you're looking at the eSword screen, this is the way that I set it up. And I've set it up this way for years. You can change this setup in different ways. But what I have is on the left panel, I have the Bible, okay, left half of the page. And then I have the right half of the page divided into two sections. The commentary section on top right and the dictionary section on the bottom right, okay? And let's say now that we're talking about the dictionary, let's say there's a word, Sabbath, okay? I can click with my pointer on Sabbath, okay? And I notice down at the bottom, I don't know if you can see that or not, it shows me that, and then here is different places to where it describes the Sabbath, okay, dictionary style. And all of these, Easton's, Fawcett's, Hastings, all of these have something to say about the Sabbath. The Sabbath, big, 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 big. Now, okay, so we'll blank that out for a while. A commentary. If you want to go to a commentary, you hit the verse that you're looking for, or you can hit the chapter and get an overview of the chapter or an overview of the whole book. Okay, but we usually leave it on verse and we go to verse. Now, after the Sabbath on the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. So, let's look at times. The Sabbath started on Friday evening and went all the way to Saturday evening. Their days did not start at midnight. Their days started at the sunset. So right around 6 o'clock was the average time, is where a day would end and another day would start. So the Sabbath was Friday evening till Saturday evening. Okay? After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to the tomb. So, Sabbath being Friday evening to Saturday evening means that the day after the Sabbath had to have been Saturday evening to Sunday evening is when, and that is when Jesus rose again, or that's when that's when Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb on a Sunday. Now here's something important. They were right now. Remember that the chief priests. Oh, I got so much stuff I want to say. The chief priests did not want to kill Jesus during the holy days. People from all over, you know how they'd all navigate to Jerusalem for the holy days, and they were right in the middle of the season of the spring feasts, the holy days of the Lord, the appointed days, the days when the nation of Israel had an opportunity to have some special fellowship with the Father. That's what the feast days were all about, okay? You know, and you can go to book of Leviticus, I think it's chapter 23, and it talks all about that. But Jesus was killed on the Passover. We talked about this the other day. Passover was the day that they commemorated the coming out of Egypt. And that's the day that Jesus died. 2,000 probably years later, from the day that they were hitting the doorposts with the blood of the lamb, the blood of the real lamb. 2,000 years later, Moses had been instructed by God to tell them if they want the angel of death to pass over their houses and not to kill the firstborn. Excuse me, I hit the spring on my mic, and I'm excited this morning.